I have not slept. I have not slept in maybe like 36 hours or something like that. Like, it's been a minute. So, and I got shit to do tonight, but that's okay. We're making bread. So that's the story. We're going to talk about the stupid ass project that I decided I was going to do, which consisted of deciding I was going to run an event, but only in bed. Because that was really a very smart decision, right? So, kind of fucked myself on that. But I can't sleep anyway, so it is what it is. I don't know if the battery on my phone is either, but that should be fine. Oh yeah, I was not here to wash my hands, I was here to wash my table. The last thing you want to do is make bread on a dirty ass table. Well, I'm gonna move this way back for a second. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm just gonna put this over here and clean my counter because I'm the only one who actually works directly on the counter. So, like, if I don't clean it, it doesn't really get clean. Not that it's dirty per se. It's just, you know, crumbs and stuff gets on it, and then when you have crumbs on your counter, you get crumbs in your bread. And I don't want crumbs in my bread. Loaves at a time. It's not just one. Because, oh, I'm sorry. I don't usually do this on my phone, but that's what we have right now is my phone. Stay. Okay. So, counter clean. This is what's left from Monday. We made 2 loaves. We'll make 2 more. And we are not making the quick way because I hate myself. But it also tastes better. I don't know what measuring cups I'm looking for here. I think it's a 1/4 cup, 1/2 water. So I have this old cookbook, which is the one I always use because, you know, the old recipes are there for a reason. So we're going to use the softening method, which is basically what you do is you take a 1/4 cup of water. And we heat this up to about 110, 15 degrees. 120 usually is good. So 30 seconds in the microwave takes it to the temperature we want. And I have a thermometer for that because yeast, where the hell this thermometer is, where's my thermometer? Yeast dies if it's too hot or too cold. Here it is. It's an electronic thermometer because, you know, old school bread making obviously requires new school technology on how to do it. So we have that. Grab that. It is, I believe, I always get this wrong. It's 2 1/4 teaspoons. There's no way it's tablespoons. Because it always calls for a packet of dry yeast. I'm like, I think perhaps it's 2 1/2 teaspoons, not 2 1/2 tablespoons. That would be a lot of yeast. I don't know, I warmed that up early. Because, okay, ingredients, 2 1/2 teaspoons. It says it right here. Boop, boop. Not that you can see that. Not that you care. so we have this water now. And we just make sure that it's not too hot and it's not too cold. Hey, we're making bread right now because we're out of bread, so I have to make more. This is 145, so I gotta wait a second because this is still very, very hot. This would kill my yeast. It's 155 degrees. It's way too hot for yeast, right? Needs to be between 110 and 115. So this will cool off while I measure some stuff out. And I'll make a mess, but that's fine because the deal is I make the bread and he cleans up after making the bread. So it's just 2.5 tablespoons of yeast, or 2.25 teaspoons of yeast. That's the little one. People who don't know baking. Tablespoon or teaspoon, little one, tablespoon. It's about 2 to 1. It's not quite. It's close, but it's not quite. So that's the yeast. Take that, and that goes away because we're done with that. Then we wait for this yeast, the water. Fucking with my. I feel like I need to like move stuff over here so you can see what I'm doing. Oh no, I hope I didn't just break this. My husband will be so fucking mad at me. I might have just broke this. That'd be very bad. It's not made for something this small. Still about 130. So I'll just leave that for a minute. So then I need to heat milk, sugar, shortening, salt until just warm. Now I've always really disliked that method because I'm like, why? Unless I'm trying to like simmer my sugar, which maybe that's what it is. It's kind of like caramelizing the sugar. I don't have any small pans. I need 2 cups of milk. I don't have any small pans. That's cool. I don't have any small pots. Do I have any small pots? I need something like this big, right? It doesn't need to be big. The only hot pots we have in the house, though, are like massive. And I'm like, that's a lot for what I'm trying to do. But whatever, I guess. So, shortening. Very old school. It is a temperature stable fat. Like it, you can leave it out all day. It's not a big deal. So I need 1 tablespoon. It's the big one. Shortening. Shortening is a very, very thick fat. And you actually know how fatty something is by how solid it is at room temperature. Right? Room temperature. So I got a tablespoon of shortening. Now shortening does not come out of stuff nicely at all. Just like, nah. And I would put this away, the shortening, but I'll need it later, like way, way later. But so I got that. And then it should be 2 cups of milk. Check this. Again, we're trying to get this to 110 to 115. We're still at about 125 degrees. So we wait. But again, I have to bring the milk up to the same temperature. Yes, there is shortening on my fingers. Will I clean it off? Not yet. I don't know why I poured it over here, because I'm going over here. And we always have 3 gallons of milk in this house because we drink a lot of milk. Because we're those kind of people. I drink a lot of milk. We go through a lot of eggs. And again, bad decision process making, like decision making on my part here. 2 cups of milk. Put this in the saucepan. And we're going to turn this really, really low because I'm not ready for that to be up to temperature yet. It will be a minute until I need that one. So, milk back away. My finger through, push the shortening back into here. So it's milk, sugar, shortening, and salt until just 1. Again, same temperature we're shooting for over there as we are over here. Could we do it all together? Yes. Are we going to do it all together? No. We are just at 118. Do my salt. Sugar, shortening. No, I'll do my sugar. 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now, smart me. This is my tablespoon. It's got shortening on it. I'm very smart. Super smart. Really nailed that one. And what's funny is I do this once or twice a week, right? Like, this is not a thing I should be like, oh, I forgot. No, I know what I'm doing. I forgot. No sleep in 13 hours or something like that, right? I should also take my ring off, or I'm going to get it everywhere. I don't know why I didn't wipe this out either. Shortening is very fatty. It doesn't like to accept you removing it from whatever the hell it's on. I don't think I have a second tablespoon. I do have a second tablespoon. I do have a second tablespoon. Very smart. So that's in the sugar, and that's in the milk with the shortening. All of this, we're trying to bring it up to 115 degrees. That's done. That can go away. One thing I always yell at my daughter about when we're cooking or baking or really doing anything is please clean up your workstation as you go. Because otherwise, you won't be sad. Ciao. 2 teaspoons, little ones, of salt. Where's my damn salt? Where to leave it? It's in a different room. Just like a completely different room of the house. Why is it in a completely different room of the house? Because I was eating in a different room of the house and I only have this. I have other salt. Can't get into this, so I'm using other salt, I guess. Nope, not pink salt. My husband's like, we should only use pink salt. I was like, it's a lot of very fancy salt for something that's not that important. 2 teaspoons? 2 teaspoons. I want to check the salt twice because you put too much salt in something that's not good. You don't want to do that over what you're mixing. That's why I'm doing it over the sink. Because you'll end up with too much. And then you ruin it. So that's salt, sugar, milk, and shortening all put in there. Now I just let that wait. My water should be to the right temperature now. One more time. $104. We might actually be below temperature now. No, we might get up there. It's close enough. So what we're going to do is next time I'm going to take this out first. I just put the dry active yeast in there. And I need to mix it because basically what we're doing something called softening yeast. So we're activating it by putting it in the right temperature. If you don't activate your yeast, it won't rise. And this is like, there's easier methods to do this, but this is how you get really glutinous, airy bread. So you get the air into the bread. Like, there's no yeast in cake because you use other rising agents like baking soda or eggs, sometimes baking powder, in other baked goods. Super gross, right? I have no really good lighting either. Here, turn on the light in the other room. Yes. Here. Slightly better. Slightly better. We'll adjust this so you can actually see what I'm doing. Maybe. I will try to adjust it so you can see what I'm doing. I will fail because it doesn't want me to for some God-forsaken reason. Okay? Got there. Close. Close. But yeah, so my story project that I started, I hate myself for this. I don't know if it's because I'm tired or because, like, I just make really bad decisions today. I was like, yeah, that's the thing. I should do that. I'm going to turn this up now because we're actually going to try and bring this up to temperature. We're not trying to boil it or anything. We're literally just trying to warm it up and melt the shortening. This now sits, the yeast, and it is going to rise. I wish I had like a paper to cover it because you want it to stay warm. Don't want to put that over it, but I will put a saucer over it. I'm just going to put a saucer over this to try and keep the temperature right. The longer it stays at that temperature, which is the temperature that yeast grows at, the better it will be. Now, I'm going to clear my workspace of all the other bullshit that I have going on here, which is a lot of bullshit at the moment. I'm going to get a bowl for my flour. Does it need to be a big bowl? Not particularly. But I have the options of a tiny bowl and a giant bowl. I need to put 2 cups of flour in one. That'll work. This will be my rising bowl. 2 cups of flour, beat well, blah, 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 blah. So, let's see if I have another measuring cup that's a cup, or if I just don't. It does not look like I do. That's cool. I'm really into that. I would show you this, but it's literally just shortening, melting, and butter. Not super exciting. Can I put this here? I can. Cool. I can leave that there and I can watch my temperature. So, pull out my flour. I actually need 6 cups is what I was doing. This is like full to the brim because we fill it because we have 75 pounds of flour in my house because I make a lot of bread. Not up here. We only keep about 20 cups up here. So that's about 2 baking sessions worth of flour. I'm going to do this way more times than I have to because I don't have a full cup. So 1, 2. This is a half cup, by the way. 3, 4. That's what I'm going to mix there. The rest of this is going to go right on my counter. So I need to put another 4 cups on my counter, which is mostly dry at this point, which means 8 of these. Because this is a half cup yet. 1, 2. This is what I'm going to mix in, but I always like to measure it out first so I can be done with it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means I can put my flour away because that is as much as I'm going to use. There's a massive pile of flour, but it's only 6 cups. It's 4 on the table and 2 in the bowl. I need a stand. Obviously need a stand. I'm sorry. Here you go. So this is done. This goes back where it belongs. Then we stir our milk. We are at 120, which means I have to bring this way down because I don't want to boil it. Because boiled milk is not great. Now technically I think I could use different kinds of milk to affect it, but we only drink skim in this house, so that's what we have. We have skim milk. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'll take heat too for a minute because it's at like 130. I need to just be at like 120. 130 is too high. Then, yeah, we basically need that to stir. Large mixing bowl, stir in 2 cups of flour, beat well, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So, with that, I'm going to take my ring off because my hands will be dirty in this adventure. That's just how it goes. This is too hot right now. Unfortunately, I don't have any good methods to cool it. I wish I did, because now I have to wait. I'm trying to aerate it, but you can't even see what I'm doing, which is really fun. There's a pile of flour in your way. And that's why I have an apron. Okay. So I have this. This is at 135. It needs to get down to 120, which means I just get to stand here and mix it. Super exciting. All my shortening's done. I guess I could add it into the flour because that'll lower the temperature. Get a quarter for my height, which is a little bit obnoxious, but I'm a little bit impatient right now because I am tired. What if I mixed? What if I whipped it? Do you think that's a good idea? I don't think this is a good idea, right? But I can aerate it that way. It is lowering the temperature. Better than my other one. Just need to drop it 10 degrees. That's fine. We're making a mess. We are making a mess. It is okay. And if I put air into my dough, oh no, what a travesty. 123, 124, 125, 126. I'm getting it down there. Or was that about 140 when I pulled it off? I got it too high, but that's okay. I did not burn the milk, so that's fine. Okay. So, this is very hot. I would not want to stick my hands in it. What I am going to do is hopefully not dump it onto my cookbook. That would be horrible. So, it's 2 cups of milk, 2 cups of flour. Whiskey thing. We mix this in. It is not going to make a dough. It is a very big, it is a liquid right now, right? I don't know how to film this. Like that. It's a liquid. Very much liquid. I'm showing you the wrong thing. I don't know the direction to move it in to show you. Can I flip this? I can. There we go. I can show you now. So this is, we just mix this together. Again, we're going to try and bring this down to under 120. That's the goal. Because again, we don't want to kill our yeast, which is sitting over there under that saucer. I'm gonna once again grab my whisk because I know for a fact I can lower temperature by using my whisk. So that's this little bad boy. This thing can go here so I can see my temperature. See how the flour already brought the temperature down? Again, the temperature of the water, this is fine. I can add my yeast in. I want it to be at a temperature that won't kill my yeast. Once it's in and it's mixed in, it's fine. But you kill your yeast and your bread won't rise. You don't get it hot enough, it won't activate. Now, how the fuck people did this without these sort of like thermometers? Must have been crazy. So you see this is all mixed in now. And this was like deactivated yeast before. It's a little cold now, but that's okay. It didn't like die. I'll mix that in. Should I be using a whisk? No. Why am I using a whisk? Because I want it to be even and I want it at the right temperature. And then this is gonna, there's flour on the bottom. And it's the yeast actually, it might be hard to see, but it will sit on the top until I mix it in. So that is as much as I'm going to get with that. That goes in the sink. Now, we add flour until it turns into something I can mix by hand. So, literally, we just add flour, we add flour, we add flour. I will probably get to about 2 cups having been added. Now I'm not measuring it because all that flour is going to get in there eventually. So, not super necessary to measure it. I could turn it out into the flour, but that's a lot of work. And then I have to knead it all by hand. I have to knead it all anyways, but this should become a soft sticky dough before I turn it out, because otherwise I will have a mess. It will roll all over my counter, and I will have some, like, I'll have to knead for like 20 minutes before it actually gets mixed in. And I don't want to do that. I'm going to have to knead for about 8, I think. 6 to 8. 6 to 8 minutes I have to knead it for. Just add some more flour in there. Now, wait, aren't you not supposed to put your hands in dough? And I was like, well, you know, people have said that shit. But this is how we've been making bread for a very long time. I'm going to flip this because I need both my hands. You're home? Send me your story beats. Okay, here we go. I'm going to mix this, and then once I flip it out, you'll be able to see it. But I need to just get this to the point where I can flip it out. I can't flip it out right now because it's not a dough. It's a batter. Until it is a dough, I don't want to flip it because then I have a lot of work. Send me your story beats. I have, of the people signed up right now for the story, I have 17 people signed up, I think. I think I only have 8 people's responses or something like that. I might have a couple more than that, but I don't have everybody. I think I have a little over half. And I have 25 story beats written out already, and most of, like, 2 or 3 of the responses I've not written out. So you guys write too much. You write way too much. It's okay. This might be able to be turned out in a second. I'll scooch this over here so you can actually see what I'll do in a second. Well, there. Give me 1 second. Let me get the rest of this in there. Because this is a soft batter, and you will see as soon as I flip it out, that's dirty. That's dirty. That's dirty. That's dirty. That's dirty. That's dirty. 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 Rag. Yeah, I have a soft, sticky batter right now. You will see. 1 second. Do I want to put my hands on this? Not yet. Not yet, but we'll see how well I do. Sometimes I'm really good at it, getting it done right, and sometimes I'm just not. So we're going to flatten this out. We're going to make sure my hands are super floury because, again, I don't want to really get this stuck on me. Oops, nope, didn't do it right. I immediately got it stuck on me. Immediately missed. Okay, so we're just going to try and work the flour in. I don't even have all of it in the dough. So there's still a lot here that I need to get out because this has the yeast and the salt and the sugar and the milk. And otherwise it's just going to be wet flour. And that's not what we're going for. This is my mental break. Okay. Can you just please come off without getting stuck to me? Please. Yeah, get off there. Get off. Yeah. Because if you do this at the wrong, like, texture, like not sticky enough or too sticky, your hands become very, very dirty very, very quickly. Dirty. Sink. Okay. Now we do the somewhat fun part, I guess you could call it, is we're not trying to, like, pierce it. We're just trying to work more of the flour in because it is still super soft, right? All we're trying to do is just get the flour worked in. See how it's sticking to my hands? I could have probably added more in the bowl, but I didn't have a big enough bowl. It was more the issue than anything else there. It was my bowl was not big enough. So usually you would stay in the bowl a little bit longer, probably like another cup or two. But my bowl does not fit 6 cups of anything. And I had 4 in it to start. I worked in probably 1 or 2, probably 2. And 2 cups of flour and 2 cups, the dough off my hands, and 2 cups of milk. So that's 4 cups. I had 4 cups of flour on the table. I should have worked 2 in, maybe 3. Didn't get there because the bowl was not that big. So now all we do is knead. Wish I could see what people were saying. It's so small because it's on my phone, right? So I'm like, I vaguely have a concept that people are talking. I'd have to get really close, and my glasses are the wrong glasses for me to read that. Wrong distance. Okay. Again, all this flour on the counter, I will try to get in. I will probably be left with maybe like half a cup, maybe more, probably less. Still have about a cup of flour right now. It is getting closer to the texture I want. Ooh, my surface isn't floured enough, so we're sticking. We're getting really close to the amount of flour we want. I could put more in, and it did just rain, which means it's humid, which means it might take more flour to actually get it to the consistency it's supposed to have. But we'll see. We'll give it a little bit. Again, I got to do this for like 6 to 8 minutes, right? This is activating the yeast, which creates gluten, which makes the bread rise. So you don't get unleavened bread, which, you know, after 1 or 2 times baking unleavened bread, you'll be like, ah, no, I don't want to do that. That's gross. Not cool. I don't like it. We'll flip this. I'll go the other way. I'm not as good going the other way, I gotta be honest. All I'm really doing is pressing the palm of my hand into the dough. And pushing. I'm using the weight of my body to make it easier for me. I'm really not good pushing with my right hand. As you can tell, my rhythm is really bad. Let me switch back, because now that I'm all out of sorts. I push it down and I pull it back towards myself to pull the part I pushed away and kind of fold it. My surface, it's not floured very well. Now I think they're granite, tabletops. So like, you can't always do this. Sometimes you have to have like a baking tray sort of thing. It's not a tray. I have one. I don't use them because my stuff is granite, so I don't need to. Oh my goodness. I think I'm getting close. It's really getting to the right texture. I'm just trying to make sure I have consistency across the whole thing. Yeah, I got the flour I need to get in, so it's got as much as it's supposed to have. Still a little sticky, but that is okay. Yeah, this is what we're looking for. Gluten, when it develops in bread, likes to snap back to the shape it was in before. So you really end up fighting with it a lot. Which is okay, because you get all your stress out, and I'm exhausted. So this is great. Hopefully, I will fall asleep at a reasonable time tonight. Nothing will be a problem. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I wish I could like explain to you how it feels, because like it has this sort of elasticity to it, which is what I'm kind of looking for. And if I let it sit for a second, it'll kind of like be less elastic, because it'll go back to the position it was in, so none of the like molecules in it are stretched. Okay, so that is really good. Okay, so now, stir as much the creamy flour as you can with a spoon. Turn a lightly floured surface, knead enough to flour to moderately stiff dough. This is considered moderately stiff dough. I read this recipe twice a week. I don't know what's wrong with me. And elastic. Shape into a ball. Place in a lightly greased bowl. Turn once to the greased surface. Cover. Let rise in a warm place till double. About an hour and a half. So what we're gonna do? Take the big old bowl we got here. I'm glad I don't have to clean my kitchen. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a reason I have an apron on, because it is covered in flour, which would be my dress if I didn't. So like that. This is dirty. This is dirty. You're gonna grab the spoon. Shortening again, because this is shelf stable fat. About, I don't know, tablespoon. That's it. And we're literally just gonna grease the entire bowl. I'm gonna use my hands, because that's what baking is using your hands. Unless you're making like cakes and cookies and stuff, then you shouldn't be using your hands unless you're eating the dough. And that's a different story, right? Like if you're eating the dough, you're doing something else. You're not making it for cookies or cakes. You're making it for the dough. Dirty. All right. Grease up my hands so it sticks nice. Okay. So we got this. So nice side that I like, that I want it to rise, that goes down first in here. And then I just flip it. And this is going to rise then. Basically what that does is it gets grease on the on the surface of the dough. Clean up some more of my workspace. Not done with the shortening, actually. It's going to stay there. Now we're going to look for my baking. Here it is. Okay. So this is my china cabinet that has like no china in it, but this is my rising rag, which is literally just a rag that you put over the bowl, and then you put it in a warm, dry area, which is again back in my cabinet, which is why the bowl's and that rag's in there. And then I let it sit for an hour or two, and that's how you make bread. Except we won't be done for another 3 hours. Okay. I can't. And here's the other thing: this mess I have here, I can't clean up because I have to turn it out and knead it again. Right? It's not really kneading, but it's shaping. So all of this, I'm gonna do my husband a favor. At least one. I'll put all the dirty stuff together so he doesn't yell at me because I make messes. There. At least get it in there so he can't yell at me. He can yell at me, but he can yell at me less if I make an attempt. I don't have to clean up after myself, just like he doesn't have to bake bread. But yes, I do need to make an attempt to make vaguely less of a mess than I was making. There's flour all over the floor, but the kitchen gets stuff regularly. Because if it doesn't, there would be flour all over the floor. Isn't that a fun idea? It's great. We're just making basic white bread. I make basic white bread twice a week, about once every 7 days, once every 6 or 5 days, just depends on how much you go through. Oh, I found another pan. That's the one I did the milk in. That is congealed now. But, again, not my problem, per se. These are clean, so they're going to go away. Okay, clean up after myself. Bookshelf will stay out. This needs a wash. This is the temperature, so I can't, like, the thermometer, I can't, like, stick it in the dishwasher. But, portable. My portable, you can't even see if you can see that. I'm like covered in flour. My portable rag. This is why we made an apron, because messes are fun. Okay, now what the fuck did everybody say that whole time? Don't worry about my brain. I'm drinking already, so ooh, I want to drink. I was being nervous to feed, but at a point she will have no choice. Faye needs to feed every week, so not taking risk. Start risking. So Faye and the changeling smell so good she will need it more often. More bread. Okay. I'm gonna switch to Conan. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm gonna think about it. Oh, look at all these things. 24 keys so far. Sorry, beets. Sorry, they're beets. And there's a picture of every single one of them. We'll go to OBS instead. Might be easier to hear me. I'm gonna pass out here, by the way. You know that? Like, just straight up, I will pass out. Can I just go live on this one on my computer and take over? Go live. Does it cancel this one? I don't know. Maybe I have to end.